Okay, so good morning everyone. We are out on another exploration today, and I'm walking on Benting Street now. And now, why Benting Street? We know that Benting Street is famous for its Chinese shoe shops, Chinese leather workshops, and old Chinese medicine shops and all of that. But today we are actually looking for a specific address on Benting Street. That is 47 Benting Street. Thankfully, the addresses of Benting Street haven't changed, and that's why it would probably be easier for us to find out the address. Now, why 47 Benting Street? Because that used to be the workshop and showroom of the Continental Electric and Motor Company in the early 1900s, owned by a person called W.E. de Brunner. Now, de Brunner has the distinction of making the first aeroplane which flew in India, apparently, and it flew in 1910 January from Calcutta. It was a trial flight, and of course there was no pilots. It flew like a few hundred feet, and then it made a safe landing. So de Brunner actually was experimenting with smaller models of planes, making planes in his warehouses, and he had a couple of Punjabi engineers who apparently helped him in this process. So we're going to spot where de Brunner's workshop was and what is there now, and then we are going to take you to the place where the first trial flight of the aeroplane took place. So that's number 59 on that side. You see the Textile Connoisseurs Association. So my guess would be number 47 is, or was, where this movie theater, Paradise Cinema, is located, or the next building where the income tax office is located. So this is where W.E. de Brunner, in one of these spaces where these buildings now stand, because Paradise Cinema was built much later. The income tax building was built even later, after independence. So where these two buildings stand, this must have been located over here, where W.E. de Brunner had his large electricity and motor company, and he loved making experiments. He had these two very deft Punjabi engineers with him, who he speaks very highly of in his writings, into the newspaper reports that covers about his experiment. And here, from 1909 onwards, he was so inspired by the flying machines, the planes that were built in the United States. He was starting to experiment with model planes, so very small models to start with, and then as his experiment succeeded, he started expanding the planes, the models of the planes, and as all of those succeeded, he finally built biplane in 1909 December. And this biplane had was made of wood. It was about 20 feet long, and it was covered with canvas, so cloth, as biplanes used to be, and it had a motorcycle engine attached to it, so that it can make the biplane fly. And then this biplane was assembled in the workshop that was here, which doesn't exist anymore, of course, and then it was taken to the Maidan, on specific stretch on the Maidan, on 6th of January 1910, and there was an experiment made in a very low-key way for it to fly, and it was only reported in a couple of newspapers in Calcutta, but the experiment was successful. So let's go to the stretch in the Maidan where the flight took place, and we will talk about what happened the day of the experiments. Okay, so we are now on the Red Road, this big straight road that you see next to me. You can see the floodlights of different football club grounds, and also the Eden Gardens over there probably. So this is a very popular stretch for walks, morning walks. But what is this road? What is the connection of this road with the plane story that we're talking about? Well, the connection is the first time when De Bruyne tries to showcase his plane, he was very anxious, and also he needed a stretch, like a very straight stretch from where the plane can fly and can take off. So he brings his plane here, and on 6th of January 1910 he decides that he will give a demonstration, but to a very limited group of people, because he thought that the experiment might have failed. So what happened is he just invited some reporters and very small group of Europeans, and he brought his plane here. He set his plane up here, and on the morning of 6th of January the first trial failed because there were some engine problems, which was then sorted out by as he speaks highly about, by his Sikh engineers, his Punjabi engineers. And after that, in the same afternoon, he tried again, and this time the flight was successful. The plane flew from here, attained a respectable height, as the newspaper reports say, and then landed a few hundred meters away, close to a kilometer away, on the Casuarina Avenue, which is right up over there somewhere. And that is the first recorded plane flight anywhere in India officially. Unofficially, I don't know which was. Maybe there were some princely states trying to do it, but officially that was the first recorded attempt of a flight in India, successful attempt of a flight in India.